What's up, everyone? Welcome to the October 25th edition of the NBA Injury Report. I am your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. We have a four-game NBA slate tonight, but we do have a couple of injuries that have broken throughout the afternoon after we aired this morning's strategy show. So I did want to touch on those. But first, today is the last day to use promo code HARDWOOD and get 10 days of Stokastic Plus Platinum for just $10. This promo will give you access to behind the paywall data, including our boom bust tool and our new lineup generator, which is a quick, efficient way to build quality lineups for whatever type of NBA DFS contest you're looking to enter. So be sure to use that promo code today. Last day to use it. Promo code is Hardwood. Get yourself 10 days of Stokastic Plus Platinum for just $10. Now, taking a look at the injury report, we actually don't have any questionable players anymore. Coming into today, Zion Williamson and Herbert Jones were both questionable. They've since been ruled out. And then Tim Hardaway is now listed as doubtful for the Mavericks. So we're going to touch on those since they did change since the show this morning. Starting with Dallas, Tim Hardaway is doubtful. He's been playing 25 or 26 minutes for the Mavs. I'm not exactly sure where these minutes are going to go. My best guess is that we see a little bit more playing time for Spencer Dinwiddie, who already looked like a reasonable option before we got the Hardaway news. Now he looks even a little bit better. I think you probably also get a few extra minutes for Reggie Bullock. This is someone in the past that we've seen Dallas play for a lot of minutes when they need to. He has at times been subbing in and or out for Tim Hardaway. So I think there's a good chance that you see a few more minutes for him. And then it does help to solidify Josh Green's minutes off the bench as well. Probably not useful from a DFS standpoint, but that's how I'm expecting the rotation to go, is a few more minutes for Dinwiddie and Bullock, who are both rosterable players, and then Josh Green probably soaking up the rest. Don't think he's going to be somebody that shows up in DFS lineups. And now getting on to the Pelicans, which is the spot where there's a lot to talk about. Brandon Ingram was already out coming into today. Zion was questionable. Herbert Jones was questionable. They have both been ruled out as well. So not only are there a lot of minutes available for the Pelicans, there's a lot of usage, a lot of playmaking responsibilities. This team is going to look very, very good in DFS tonight. When Ingram subbed out or left their last game, we saw Trey Murphy get the start in the second half and play a lot. I'm expecting Murphy to replace Ingram in the starting lineup here. I think he will play a lot. Going back to last season, he's averaged 3/4 of a fantasy point per minute without Zion or Ingram on the floor. So not the best point per minute guy, but he is cheap or relatively cheap. He should be out there for a lot of minutes, and there will be plenty of opportunities with those guys sidelined. Now, as far as who replaces Zion, I'm not sure. We've seen Larry Nance be the sub for Zion. We've seen Najee Marshall be the sub for Zion. They are similar point per minute guys. Going back to last season without Ingram or Zion on the floor, Marshall's average 0.87 DraftKings points per minute. Nance's average 0.89. Nance is a little bit more expensive at 5K. I actually don't remember off the top of my head what Marshall's salary is, so I'm checking that really quickly. I know Nance on DraftKings comes in at $5,000. Marshall only 3,200. So Marshall is likely going to project as the better point per dollar value, even if he's not starting. If he does get the start, then clearly you can feel even better about his minutes. But he's a good point per minute fantasy producer, and there are plenty of minutes available now. And then as far as the main pieces, when you take Ingram off the floor, when you take Zion off the floor, last year, Jonas Valanciunas averaged 1.31 DraftKings points per minute with a 28% usage rate when those guys were not on the floor. If you put CJ McCollum on the floor, his usage rate dropped a little bit to about 26.7%, but he still averaged over 1.3 DraftKings points per minute. And then CJ McCollum had a average 1.28 DraftKings points per minute with a 32.8% usage rate and a 32.8% assist percentage in the minutes that he played without Ingram or Zion. So there's a lot to be had from the Pels, whether you're looking for cheap value in somebody like Najee Marshall or very high upside options like CJ McCollum. So to recap, the two biggest pieces of news that have changed, or the two only pieces of news that have changed since this morning's strategy show, Tim Hardaway Jr. is now doubtful for the Mavs, and Zion Williamson and Herbert Jones have both been ruled out for the Pelicans.